Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time zone you're joining us from. This is Natasha Malik. I'm with the Dubai Future Accelerators team. We're just going to give it one more minute for more participants to join, more attendees to join, and then we'll be here with you with the Etisalat Digital team to tell you more about their challenges and to answer any of your questions. See you shortly. All right, hello everyone. Welcome again to the Etisalat Digital webinar for DFA Fall 2020 program. I'm Natasha Malik here with you from Dubai Future Accelerators. With me today, we also have on the webinar the Etisalat Digital team, which you'll get a chance to meet very shortly. Before we go into Etisalat Digital, I want to introduce you. First, I want to let you know that this webinar is going to be recorded, and we will be uploading the footage of this onto our Dubai Future Accelerators YouTube channel. And this will also be shared with you via email 7 days after this webinar. Now, today's agenda, first, we're going to, of course, introduce you to Dubai Future Accelerators. I'll talk you through the program format for Dubai Future Accelerators Fall 2020 cohort. We will then introduce you to Etisalat Digital and the team of Etisalat Digital. We'll talk you through Etisalat Digital's challenges. We'll talk about how to apply for the challenges, the application's deadlines, and in the end, we'll take your Q&A. You would have noticed that on your screen that we have a Q&A button. Please submit all your questions there. We will be answering them during the Q&A session. And you might have also noticed that the chat has been disabled, but you can communicate with all your questions in the Q&A function. Now, to Dubai Future Accelerators. Now, Dubai Future Accelerators is the flagship program of Dubai Future Foundation, which is an initiative of the government of Dubai. The foundation itself is focused on institutionalizing future shaping, and the Accelerator program is one of the ways that we do that. Now, the crux of the foundation it lends itself from the quote of His Highness Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, who is the Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE and the ruler of Dubai. His quote goes, "The future belongs to those who can imagine it, design it, and execute it." So the different projects and initiatives of the foundation are focused on imagine, design, and executing the future. And the Dubai Future Accelerators program falls within the design aspect. What we actually do is we connect different innovators, startups, scale-ups from all around the world with the government and private sector organizations here in Dubai to solve their challenges. What we want them to do is co-create and test solutions for demand-based projects. So depending on the challenges or the projects that the government entities or the private sector organizations are focusing on, that's how we do a call out for innovators and solution providers. So that's more or less a very high level introduction to the Accelerator program. Now, just to talk you through a little bit about this time's program format. We will have two phases for the DFA Fall cohort. And the phase one will be the prep and pitch, and phase two will be the POC. So it's the prep, pitch, and POC program. And so the first phase is going to be 4 weeks long. You're going to have 3 weeks in which you're going to be working very, very closely in understanding the requirements of your government entity, or Etisalat Digital in this case, trying to understand what is the current processes, what is the challenge that they're looking to solve, what is the solution that they're actually looking for, who are the different stakeholders, what are the different kind of processes currently in place, so that you can suggest a solution. The last week of the prep and pitch will be focused on you giving a pitch. And that pitch will then determine if you will move on to phase 2. Phase 2 is going to be a 6 weeks in residence in Dubai program. So this is going to be, depending on your results out of phase 1, you'll be invited to Dubai for phase 2. Phase 1 is expected to be a run in November. Phase 2 will be starting mid-January. So what is the selection process? So firstly, you will submit your application. I'll talk you through how to apply later on, but submit your application and it will be evaluated. If it passes through the first stage of evaluation, you will be invited for a phone interview with a representative from the DFA team. What we'll be looking for is fit to challenge. We look at the capabilities of your team, and we also look at the degree of innovation. We're basically filtering regarding the requirements of the entity, in this case, Etisalat Digital, but we also want to ensure that you are fitting the challenge. Then once we have our phone interview with you, we will create a short list, which goes forward to Etisalat Digital. Etisalat will then choose up to 4 companies per challenge that they would like to invite to the first phase, which is the prep and pitch. Like I mentioned, this is going to be virtual. It's going to be 3 weeks programming and 1 week pitching. So after that, depending on the results of the pitch, now what you're pitching is your solution or your understanding of the problem and the solution that you're proposing. Of the 4 companies per challenge, Etisalat will then select up to 2 to join them for the in-residence program. And this in-residence program is focused on doing a proof of concept. And to get to that point, we will basically onboard you, which is that we will arrange for your flights, visas, and accommodation. Please note we cover flights, visas, accommodation for up to 2 full-time members that will be joining the program. And then, of course, we do an onboarding webinar with you to clarify any questions that you might have prior to arriving in Dubai. And then, of course, there'll be the 6 weeks in Dubai with Etisalat Digital team. So going into a little bit more detail when it comes to your collaboration with Etisalat Digital. So in the first phase, you'll be working hand in hand with them to understand their challenge requirements and the current processes. And then after that, you'll be giving a presentation about why you think your solution is the right fit for their challenge. Phase 2, you will actually be testing your solution in Dubai. And then you'll, at the end of phase 2, be presenting your outcomes to the senior decision makers at Etisalat, who will then decide on which companies they want to continue collaboration with. Now, that's the angle of the government entities or the entities you'll be working with. But beyond that, we also conduct other activities just to get you better acquainted with Dubai, to maximize your time in Dubai. So what we do, we also want to set you up for success. So of course, we want to introduce you to the local business culture. We want to, showcase to you how business is done, maybe, kind of introduce you to the right people for all the information that you might need to set up an office here in Dubai, your IP, your data protection, covering all those kinds of topics. And also we'll be introducing you to our ecosystem, which is Area 2071. You get a chance to learn more about Area 2071 as you move through the different phases, but just to give you a brief, it's basically this ecosystem which includes governments, private sector, as well as startups. And the whole ecosystem is designed for co-creation and collaboration. We will also introduce you to any investors if we feel that that's fit. We also conduct community events, and we'll definitely be inviting you to those. So beyond that, benefits, of course, include us covering your travel, visa, and accommodation for the time that you'll be spending in Dubai. The reason we do this is we want to make sure that each company, regardless of where they're based, has equal opportunity and access to the Etisalat Digital team. And also, we don't take any equity. Phase 2, as you know, is going to be 6 weeks. Right now, we've penned down mid-January for the in-residence program, but we do have to be mindful of the current COVID-19 travel restrictions. So we'll, of course, be keeping a close tab on that. So now, the moment you've all been waiting for, when you actually get a chance to meet the Etisalat Digital team and learn more about their challenges. So I'd like to introduce you to Alia Jolfar. She is their lead of the future team of Etisalat, and she'll basically talk you through a little bit more about the Etisalat digital vision, and then of course introduce all the challenge champions as well. Thank you, Alia.
Hello, thank you, Natasha, and hello everyone. It's nice to be virtually here with you today. I'm Ali Jalfar. I'm representing Etisalat Digital, and if you can go to the next slide. To those of you who don't know Etisalat Digital, Etisalat Digital is the business unit of Etisalat, which is the leading telco in the Middle East and North Africa. And what we mainly focus on is driving digital transformation of our clients, including enterprises and governments, to become smarter with the use of the latest technologies such as cloud, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, Internet of Things, omni-channel, big data analytics, and much more. And this is basically what do. We enable a smarter today for our clients. And if we can go to the next slide, please. And if you think of what kind of impact we have, well, we deliver end-to-end vertical propositions. So not just, let's say, a small fragment of a solution. And this way we enable smarter development, smarter education, smarter healthcare, transportation, economies, and much more. And we have a successful track in implementing large digital projects and solutions with comprehensive services such as consultancy, business modeling, solution design, post-implementation services, and operational services, and much more. And this is where our challenges with DFA comes. We always look for new solutions, new innovative stuff to add to our portfolio of services. And we have launched 3 challenges with DFA that you're going to get to know more about today. Each challenge targets a different, let's say, use case or a different industry. And with each challenge, we try to find those innovative solutions. So, so now is the time for the first challenge, and my colleague Dio will be giving you more information about it.
Thank you, Alia. My name is Deo Tarimo. I am with the Etisalat Digital Payments team. Basically, our focus is to see how we can democratize payments. In other words, look at how we can bridge the gap between those who are banked and those who are underbanked and those who are unbanked. So in other ways, digital payment should be able to go from the person who has a bank account with all credit cards all the way down to an entry-level person at who today lives 100% on cash. Now, one of our challenges that we find is the lower segments in the economy are usually faced with challenges where they're not exposed to full financial systems. And in this case, in our ability to be able to provide a full banking environment, we want to provide a fully digital platform for everyone to be able to get their financial services, focusing mainly on the lower segments of society, plus small startup businesses and other businesses that cannot formally seek funding, financial funding from the formal banking sector. So we are looking to be able to provide full digital banking through a digital credit and investment platform. Next slide, please. So what we want to be able to do is allow the ones who are marginally exposed to financial services to be exposed to ability to get credit, to be able to invest, to be able to pay other parties, to be able to receive and share money from different sectors of the economy. And we want to do all this in one integrated platform. So today we already have the capability of being able to send and receive money from different parties, to be able to make payments to any person in the country. But we need now to expand it more to be able to provide proper financial services, including investment and credit. Next slide, please. So what we are looking for is the ability to become a fully fledged digital bank, to provide all services that are provided by a traditional bank, but in a fully digital environment, where we can be able to say you can provide loans, you can be able to provide credit, short-term credit, long-term credit. You're able to advise people on investment. So if you've received some monies, instead of keep just saving the amount of money, you can invest it to give you higher returns. Next slide, please. So what we're looking for is a digital channel, that online digital credit scoring, which has with some levels of artificial intelligence that can be able to advise us on which kind of customers are of a lower credit risk and how much we can be able to lend to those those customers, depending on their current utilization and how they process money within our platform. Of course, this credit rating engine should be able to interact with the Etisalat Credit Bureau as part of the central bank's platform for being able to issue credit. At the same time, add other intelligent items that will give us a chance to be able to quickly approve short-term and medium-term and long-term loans to our customers in a very efficient manner. We're also looking to be able to have real-time data analytics to be able to help us articulate better how we can be able to issue the loans. While at the same time, for those who have money sitting within our platform, it should not sit idle. So we're looking for any AI-based kind of solution that will allow us to be able to pinpoint how we can invest their money, or even encourage them to do micro investments. So today, buying shares is usually something that's done by people with a large capital base. We're looking to get people to invest even small amounts of monies, pull together and make an investment into something that can give them some return. We, as I mentioned earlier, we already have an existing platform and would not like to work outside this platform. Would like it to integrate within our platform. So whoever can be able to provide the solution to this challenge that we're providing, we will have to get together and ensure that you're able to seamlessly integrate with our existing payment platforms. And of course, with our ultimate aim is through this integration to offer personalized lending and investment environments. And we look to have this wholly on a digital platform without any element of having to do a face-to-face or an interview session with a human being. So you can actually do your Q&As and all your information can be gathered digitally. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Dio. That's it for our first challenge, and now it's time for our second challenge, and it's related to the Internet of Robotic Things. And my colleague Hamad will give you more information about it.
Hi everyone, my name is Hamad Al-Hamadi, working in Etisalat Digital in business development and looking after the AI and smart IoT solutions. So artificial intelligence is impacting the futures of virtually every industry and every human being. So where AI has acted as the main driver of emerging technologies like big data, robotics, and IoT. And it will continue to act as an innovator for the foreseeable future. Robotic things have a huge potential in post-COVID times. So yet robots and drones are very fragmented market with a specific solution for the B2B and B2C segments, where different types of robots and drones can run customer business requirements with built-in AI functionalities on efficient and smooth way. Where the market now is expected to be increased, where for the coming years boosted by the deployment of 5G networks, and specifically this can be used for the mobility types of solutions, and it will be the key to be able to manage and integrate solutions provided by different manufacturers while following the regulatory framework of the UAE in terms of security and privacy. So if we go to the next slide. So we aim to have like solutions that empower our UAE government and enterprise clients with one-stop shop end-to-end solutions platform that manage solutions of different types of robots and drones for better safety and efficiency in non-industrial and commercial type of environments. That leads to improve the customer service experiences and enable predictive type of responses. Yeah, next please. So here we are aiming to find solutions that is aimed to be used in different markets like in retail, access control, safety and security, maintenance and operational types of areas that cover three main components areas. So the first one is the cloud platform that should be flexible to deploy specific robot solutions and drone solutions across multiple use cases in a variety of verticals for retails, transportations, and others, and either by enhancing existing Etisalat IoT solutions or introducing new ones to it. So it should be a multi-tenant type of platform that should offer a single interface to control multiple robots and drones with a capability of data management, navigations, path planning, computer vision, facial and object detections, and obstacle avoidance. So this is the first aspect, which is related to the cloud platform. And the second, it should be providing edge computing capabilities and to work with or without GPS over Wi-Fi, LTE, and 5G, 4G, and will that have long battery life for edge devices that run multiple analytics with a variety of format and equipment integrations into it. The third aspect is the analytics, where it will have the analytics with the big data that is providing visualization and reporting tools to our customers, and that should be integrated into unified dashboards for the customers with all AI types of analytics into it. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Hamad. That's for the second challenge. And now to the third challenge. It's related to multi-cloud solutions and specifically Kubernetes. And my colleague Antonio will be giving you more details about it.
Hi, thank you, Alia. Thank you everyone to attending the webinar today. Okay, my name is Antonio Cabanillas. I'm part of the Etisalat Digital team, and I'm the product manager for cloud services in the cloud and data center team. Okay, we are working with DFA to launch this challenge to the market. Okay, and our idea, we are looking for a Kubernetes platform, an orchestration platform to manage and to orchestrate the Kubernetes in a multi-cloud environment. Okay, our idea is to look for partners who are interested to work with that, to integrate this kind of platform in our multi-cloud strategy. Okay, please, next one. What is the expected impact we are looking for this challenge? Okay, first I'm going to tell you what is the current status here in the market, because probably some of you are from the region, but probably other people are coming outside the UAE. Okay, in UAE we started, I think this history 5 or 6 years ago, when we started. Most of the customers they have the IT solutions on-prem, and we started creating an Etisalat cloud proposition. Okay, we have our own cloud proposal for our customer. The name is Etisalat One Cloud, and in parallel we started the negotiation with different global cloud service providers: Microsoft Azure, Amazon Web Services, Google, Oracle, the big players. Okay. Microsoft opened 2 data centers in the region last year, okay, and they are going to open additional capacity on our data center here. Amazon opened a data center in Bahrain last year too, and they are looking now to open a data center in UAE. And most of the big players on the cloud computing environment are coming to the region. Okay, this is something is changing the market, and most of the customers now they are looking to move all the IT services and all the workload to the cloud. Okay, we already have a multi-cloud strategy. We are providing to our customer right now Etisalat One Cloud solution. We are providing Microsoft Azure and Amazon Web Services. And last year we launched a similar challenge with DFA related with multi-cloud, and we have delivered a platform. The name is the Etisalat multi-cloud platform, and the customers from this platform, they can subscribe to the different cloud service provider. They can have a single pane of glass to manage and monitoring the different cloud workloads they have in the different cloud service provider. And we are looking now to improve this capability, providing additional functionalities in 2 ways. One of them is to provide additional services, and the Kubernetes will be these additional services. And we are going to sign additional partnership with other cloud service providers, for example, Google, Oracle, and we are working with this kind of partners. Okay. Next one, please. What kind of solution we are looking for? Okay. we are looking for a cloud platform. It has to be a multi-tenant platform to provide a single pane of glass for our customer, to provide the operation about Kubernetes cluster. We want to provide to our customer the monitoring, diagnostic, versioning, to manage all the workload using this tool. This tool has to be compatible with the main Kubernetes platform in the market, VMware, Azure, Amazon, Google. Okay, the user interface has to be a friendly user interface and easy to use, and API oriented, because at the end we need to integrate this platform with our current multi-cloud portal and with some of our current system. For example, the ticketing system, when the customer can open a ticket with us and they can request some information and they can request about additional changes. They have to be integrated with our billing system. It has to be integrated with all our multi-cloud proposition. Okay, and finally, the idea is to extend this Kubernetes platform to the edge computing. And we need to align this with our IoT people, with the solution they are providing. Okay, and finally, the last one is, okay, I want to thank you for attending the meeting, and we can reply any answer you have later in the Q&A section. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Etisalat team. Now everyone's gotten a chance to get to know Etisalat a little bit better, and of course, learn a little bit more specifics about their different challenges. Now, how do you apply? That's the burning question. So to apply, you go onto our website, which is dubaifuture.ae/programs. So our website has just gotten a recent facelift, and I'll just walk you through it right now. When you go onto this page, you should be able to see the featured programs, and then you can also see all upcoming programs. You can scroll through them, click on them, and see what you're best fit for. But imagine that you are interested in, let's say, the Internet of Robotics Challenge, and you decide to click on this. On this page, you'll actually find a lot more information about the challenge, the requirements. We even plug the recording of this webinar here in about a week's time. And but if you're interested in just applying, you can click on the Apply Now button on the banner. When you click on that, it'll take you to the Future ID page. If you already have your Future ID set up, all you need to do is plug in your email and password, and you can start applying for challenges. In the case that you do not yet have your Future ID, you can go ahead and register your Future ID. To register, you just plug in your email address, your preferred password, and agree to our terms and conditions. When you press register, we'll actually send you a OTP code to your email, which you need to plug in to verify your account. When you do that, we prefer that you actually do two-factor authentication, but this is up to you. You can either confirm or skip this step. And then you fill in your data. Now, we need to get a chance to know you, and before you start applying, you need to fill out your profile, your personal profile and your organizational profile. So first thing you'll do is fill in your data. We already have your email and password that you've already set up, but it'll ask you to fill out your first name, your last name, your biography, your location. If you can note here, those that are bold, the black ones, they're actually already filled out, but the ones that are still grayed out, you still need to click on them and add that information. You can only start applying once you complete your profile. After you complete your personal profile, you can then add your organization. And to do that, you'll actually see a plus add your organization kind of a toggle at the end of the page. If you hover on it, it'll become clickable, and you can click on it and search for your organization. So you can actually search and see if it already exists. If in the case that it doesn't exist, just type the name of your organization and wait. So underneath, it'll actually have, just like here, I tried creating Natasha's new company, and Natasha's new company didn't exist. So it's given me the option to create Natasha's new company. You create it, you fill out the profile, and then you can start applying to all the challenges that you're excited about. All right, so now we actually get a chance to move on to your questions. As we mentioned at the beginning, you can go ahead and submit all your questions in the Q&A tab. Now, any questions you have about the program, about the challenge, about Etisalat, feel free to drop them in there and I'm going to start running through them. All right, so we actually have a question. What stage should the solution be at? There's no specific challenge that they're referring to, but I think maybe we can run through for each of the challenges. So maybe we can go through the digital bank challenge first. So Dia, if you want to just tell us about what stage would your preferred solution be at?
Well, the more mature that the challenge could be would be the most ideal. But again, we are willing to work together towards building the solution. So we are comfortable with someone who's, if you've got an idea of how we can do it, we can go through and see how we can develop it. So it doesn't have to be very mature.
Perfect. And what about the Internet of Robotics Challenge? Murat or Hamad, if you want to tell us a little bit more.
Yes, actually for the Internet of Robotics drone solutions, we are looking to partnership with the vendors who where we can sell these type of products to our clients that should be built in with the AI types of functionalities. And this is the reason why we are looking for a partnership with vendors who can meet our requirements in terms of functionalities of the drones and the robotics as well.
So we're looking at a level of maturity for sure.
Yes.
Okay, great. And for Kubernetes and Antonio, are there what stage would you prefer the solution be at?
For us, it's very important the solution has to be a multi-tenant solution, because at the end, we are going to provide the solution for a lot of customers. And this is a key capability we need to have in consideration, yeah? Because at the end, all the security, the access, and these kind of things is important for us to avoid any issue. Okay, and this has to be a cloud provider oriented solution.
Perfect. We have a question for the Internet of Robotics team. What is the main purpose that you require your platform to serve? And who would be your ideal end users?
Okay, we have different types of markets actually when it comes for the robotics. Like, for example, it can be offered as a patrol type of robot, where we can offer like multiple features like facial recognitions that can help the security entities to identify the people. And it can be used as well for the healthcare sections that can built in with the thermal screening to, or it can be used as different types of robotics, where it can be used for different types of market as a concierge, answering questions of the customers. It can be used as a navigation service, or it can be used for any attendant type of robots as well for the customers.
Perfect. And just to understand, you're looking at something that's agnostic to drones as well as other robots, right?
Yes.
Perfect.
Maybe add some if you want. Yes, the main thing we're looking is the platform capability for these all autonomous devices, which robotics, or could be drones, or could be something else, unmanned land terrain devices, or maybe sea devices. So the platform capability is very important at the moment. If the same company provides some of these end devices, that's even better.
Perfect. We have a question here for the same challenge. Could you specify your requirements of the AI software for the robots and drones challenge? I mean, where are these robots or drones used? I think we've kind of mentioned that. But what is your main issue with operating them? What are we trying to achieve basically with the AI element, I believe?
First of all, most of the systems are closed system. We are looking for an open platform, agnostic to the end devices. Second, yes, there are a lot of technologies used for better orientation of the devices, being on ground or in the sea or on air. And another element of the AI used for the proper analytic results coming from the operations of these devices, because the predictive maintenance part or the alerts about possible failure points, that will be all important if we use it for extremely critical environment like national safety or similar.
Perfect. For the same challenge, what scale or capacity are you looking for when it comes to the number of, let's say, drones or robots connected at the same time?
Will be not too much. So we don't looking on army of drones and army of robots. In the whole expo is less than 200 robots are used to our best knowledge. And we don't have hundreds of them as well by the national law enforcement. So it's not huge sizes of the fleet that we are seeing on a single client, but the platform itself, as it will be multi-tenant, should be capable of many, which is mostly computing power related.
Perfect. Same challenge. Are you looking for a platform that could be accessed by only one organization, or something that can be accessed by multiple organizations for the same platform?
So yes, sorry. So Murat, you can go.
Go ahead. So it's a multi-tenant. So it's a platform. So many customers will have access to it.
So just to revise, so here it will be like a cloud platform where multiple users can use it. So it's like to add multiple software analytics and multiple drones that can be managed, and the customer can have a view of each. It's like multi-tenant looking for.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, I couldn't unmute myself. All right, and we have a question regarding if you would be interested in predictive maintenance of robots. Is that something we're looking at this stage? The full question is, are these robots/drones already in use, and do they have historical operational data? And are you interested in predictive maintenance of your robots?
We don't have any robots of our own at the moment, and or any drones of our own. With clients, we experimented some, but we don't have a data for that. We like to have the platform to have such a capability, but in the worst case, we have a team that can develop jointly with the winning candidate this type of capabilities.
Perfect. Just wrapping up the questions for the second challenge, but are the robots using some kind of lithium batteries for mobility? So this would be I guess this is a requirement, or is this something that you could expect?
We didn't specify this. We're okay as long as they have an acceptable operational shift.
Perfect. Great. Going to the first challenge, which is the digital banking. So Dia, this is for you. The financial legality will be handled by Etisalat, if that's correct. The Etisalat Digital team only requires a platform for being able to meet the requirements technically. So are they're confirming that you are looking for a technical platform right now, but the financial and the financial legality of the platform will be managed by you?
Yes, at the moment we are already operational on the ground, and we are licensed to operate. So we have already taken care of the regulatory and the licensing element. The only thing we're looking for is the technology that will help us achieve our aims.
Perfect. All right, so if anyone has any other questions, feel free to plug them in for any of the challenges regarding the program. All right, so we have a question here focused on drone regulations. Do they need to worry about the drone regulations? And are they available in Dubai, if they would like to access them?
Yes, there are strict regulations for drones in Dubai, but the customers we intended to utilize drones will be allowed to perform.
Perfect. All right, if you have any more questions, please write them in the Q&A tab. I know some of you are raising your hand. I think it'll be more efficient if you just type out your questions. Another question we got offline was, what happens, what does the application process look like? So let me highlight this a little bit. So basically, once you create your feature ID and you log in, you will then be able to fill out the application form for that specific challenge. Within the application form, we get a chance to know you, which will be pulled from your feature ID, some more information about your organization. So it'll pull stuff from your feature ID, but you can amend it according to the challenge. So what you can do is, for example, if your organization actually does a multitude of things, you can actually tailor your application for this specific challenge. Then you'll basically talk through the specifics of your solution. So there are a few very specific questions about that. What's unique about your solution? What is the value of it? And then, of course, there's some more in detail questions, which are very precise about what are the offerings of your solution. In the end, it's just really about you submitting, and it's a very short process. It's very specific, but it's not a very long application form. All right, we have some more questions in. Munish is asking if the recording of the webinar will be available later. Yes, Munish, this is going to be uploaded on the Dubai Future Accelerators YouTube channel. And as you've already registered for your webinar, you will be receiving a link in your email 7 days from now. All right, we have a question from Samira. Do you consider solutions with NLP or NLU in digital banking? I think, Dio, this is for you. Dio, I think you are mute, so if you could unmute your mic.
Sorry, I forgot to unmute. Yes, given that we are going to remove the element of a human, reduce the element of human interaction with this, we're trying to see what, as much as possible to get the natural language understanding. So we would consider solutions with NLP and NLU as well, both, not just one.
Great, thank you. We have had a question regarding the number of startups that have been selected for phase 2 in the past. All right. Well, I do want to clarify that this is the first time we're actually doing 2 phases in a DFA cohort. Usually we have one stretch of 9 weeks, which is in residence. The reason we are doing 2 phases this time, because we have to adapt to the times, given the current situation, and you know, with not being sure if everyone will be able to travel to Dubai for such a large duration. We're doing the first phase of the challenge virtually, and of the second phase will be in residence. Usually we only start out with 2 startups per challenge from the beginning of phase 1 and continue with them till the end of the 9-week program, after which the entity decides which of the 2, or if both, or if any, they would like to move forward with after the program. This time around, in phase 1, the entity will select 4 startups, and then after that, for phase 2, they can select up to 2. So they can select 1, they can select 2, going into phase 2. So this is going to be the format this time. So for phase 2, you'll be working with 2, there'll be 2 companies at most that will be working closely with Etisalat Digital for the proof of concept. All right, do we have any more questions? I feel like we've done a really good job and covered everything. All right, if there's anything else, feel free to go ahead and quickly type it into the Q&A. Otherwise, what I'm going to do is just open it up to each of the challenge champions to put in any kind of last remarks or any kind of last minute details that would like to add. Why don't we start with you, Dio, because you were challenge 1. If there's anything else the companies should keep in mind as they apply for your challenge.
At present, I think we've covered most of what is required. If anyone wants to reach out with any kind of ideas, because basically we're not looking, we don't necessarily need a ready-made solution. What we need to do is be able to work out and understand the local market better before we can actually do. So even if you come with a proposal, it should be flexible enough to be able to adjust itself to the local market, because this market tends to be a lot different from a lot of other international markets. Thank you.
Perfect. Hamad, Murat, do you have any last comments on the companies that are excited about applying to your challenge?
Nothing on my side. I wish
Yes.
success to everyone.
Yes, actually, we've shared our requirements actually, and we need some solutions, and the proposal has to be more flexible, where it can be add on more features, it can be validated, these features, so it has to be very flexible platform that we are looking for.
Perfect. And then also lastly, Antonio, if you want to tell us any kind of things that the company should keep in mind as they apply for your challenge.
No, the only thing is there was no question for the Kubernetes. I don't know if everything is clear or nobody's interested in the challenge. I hope there are people interested in the challenge, and we are happy to collaborate, and we are flexible enough to adapt the requirements and to work together to provide the best solution to the market. Yeah.
Amazing. And in the case within your networks, so I'm referring to the participants here, if you have other individuals or companies within your network you feel would be a good fit for any of these challenges, feel free to send them the details of these specific challenges. The webinars, as I mentioned, will also be available post, so anyone can re-watch this. So do pass it on to your network if you feel that there is someone within that could be excited by this. All right, great. Alia, anything from your side that the teams should keep in mind as they prep themselves to be part of your cohort?
Just be innovative, guys. That's it. It's simple.
Perfect. All right, great. All right, well, that's all for our session today. Just want to remind you of our application deadline as we wrap up. So the 20th of September, we're right before midnight Dubai time. Do ensure that you get your application in. If in the case that you have any kind of troubles trying to create your future ID or have any further questions regarding the challenges, feel free to drop them on cohort@DubaiFutureAccelerators.com. We check this address every single day, and we would be able to get you your feedback ASAP. Also, if it's any kind of questions to the Etisalat team, you can plug them here, and I'll be sure to get their feedback to you as well. All right, so that's all from our side. Thank you so much for the Etisalat team for giving us their time and their energy, and of course, talking us through the challenges in such detail. And thank you to all the participants who joined us today. We look forward to receiving your applications, and inshallah, we'll see you in Dubai very soon. Well, have a fantastic day, everyone, and thank you for joining us today.